Today, I'm gonna show you how to use the Keto Mojo app and the Keto Mojo glucose ketones meter so that you can be tracking your ketosis and reversing your disease. Welcome to the channel. I'm Owen and I'm a stage 4 cancer survivor. The doctors gave me 2 years to live. They said nothing would help. And I began to eat right and to live a metabolically healthy life. And I've almost entirely reversed my cancer. Ketosis and the keto meter has been a big part of that. So today I wanted to show you how the meter works and how the app works so that you can use it and get the same kind of results that I'm getting. I know at first this was really confusing. I didn't know what GKI meant. I didn't understand. So first of all, you need to purchase the Keto Mojo GKI meter from Amazon. I put links to this in the description box below. And when you buy that, you're gonna get everything you need, okay? It's gonna come with your stabbing needle here, and it's gonna come with a couple of these strips. Now, I highly recommend that you buy more strips because you don't wanna be in this place where you're like, economic about your ketosis. You don't wanna be like, well, I could check it now, but I'm almost I want to save those last couple strips. Like, I want you to always have a bunch of strips ready to go, and so buy a backup strip, a box of backup strips, and also these are lancets, right? So this is what actually you pull this off, and there's a needle there, and it kind of it pricks your blood. You're gonna need to buy. These are cheap. These are like $7 for a bag of 100, right? So you need to buy a bunch of these because they go into this meter here. And that's what works. So what I want to do right now is I want to walk you through the process of how the the ketones meter and the glucose meter works, and then I'm going to show you how to read that into the app. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and take my own ketosis. So let's do that right now. All right. So first thing I want to do before I stab my finger is open up the strips. So the blue is the ketone strips, and this takes 9 seconds to measure, okay? And if you think that's fast, I actually kind of come to think it's kind of slow these days. So I like to have my strips ready to go. So I've got my ketones measure strip, and then I've got my glucose. The brown is gonna measure my blood sugar. And I like to have these out so that I can easily put them in the device and use one prick of blood. I don't want to prick my finger multiple times. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the glucose in first with the blue strip down, and it goes into the keto meter here, and you'll hear it kind of click. Well, there you go. There, it kind of clicked there. So it tells you now that it's ready to measure glucose. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load the finger prick, and I'm gonna kind of let it start to bleed. And what I do is I push the blood up to it. I get a nice big bulbous, because I want this to be enough for both the strips, okay? So the first thing I'll do is I'll just let that blood touch the strip, and you'll see it's 5 seconds. And I'll get a reading of 67, which is not bad considering I've been fasting all day and I just had a CT scan. Now we're gonna measure, okay? So I'm trying to keep the blood on my hand kind of like fresh, and I'm gonna put the blue strip in, and now we're gonna measure ketones. It's gonna take 9 seconds, and I just kind of licked my finger here, All right, 2.5 for the day. So this is really good. Now, here's the thing. These numbers by themselves are great, but the app on your phone brings them all together and allows you to see like you're tracking. And if you don't have the Keto Mojo app, just go to the App Store and grab it. When I open up the app, immediately I'm coming to my readings. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click the sync button on the lower right-hand side. And what that does is it syncs with this device. So this device has to be on in order for this to work. And what'll happen is the last 4 readings, okay, are imported. I'm gonna click on the check sign, and I'm gonna scroll down, and I can see that 8:31, which is today, at 4:41 p.m., I have a GKI of 1.4, which is really good. That's where I want to be. My glucose, you can see it in the brown, is at 67, and my ketones are at 2.5. So it's exactly the numbers that you saw here. But the app does a mathematical equation to give me a GKI, which is my glucose ketone index. It means, where is your body at given the state of your glucose and given the state of your ketones? 1.4 is therapeutic ketosis. That's where I want to be as a cancer patient. Some of you guys, 1 through 3 is where you want to be as a cancer patient. But here's what else I can do is I can scroll down. I can see what my GKI was and what my glucose was, the last time I measured, which was on 8:30. And then I can go up to like 8:09 and see that my glucose was 115 and my ketones were 0.8. So it looks like a cheat weekend to me. What's important here to notice is that I can look at the last 28 days, or I can look at the last 7 days on this app. I can also choose what I want to see. So for example, if you're not interested in GKI, you can tap on the GKI button, and now you're getting ketones and blood glucose, right? Maybe you only want glucose. Well, I can tap ketones off as well, and now I'm just getting glucose. And of course, I can tap them back on to go deeper into those as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tap on the 1.4 in the center of the screen here. And what I've got is the ability to add notes and add tags. So for example, if you're in a really high state of GKI, like I'm doing really well today, I could say something like, fasted 16 hours, because I did, and had spinach meal. And my spinach meal is spinach, butter. In fact, I did a whole video on what my spinach meal is. You can watch those videos on my channel. But if you want to add notes because I noticed that when I went running, I got a higher GKI, or I noticed that like coconut cream really shot my glucose up, you can add those tags. You could add tags down here like vacation, right? Or you could add tags down here that are like morning, if you tested your blood in the morning or whatever the case might be. So you've got some features here in the app that can really help you sort of dial this in. Last thing I want to show you is trends, okay, down there at the bottom. So notice how we're in my readings now. I'm going to go over to trends and notice how I can set up from August 25th to August 31, so the last 7 days. I'm actually going to go, for me it's been, let's just go 12 weeks because I haven't really been testing a lot lately. I've been doing extremely well. I've been on a great rhythm. So let's go to the last 12 weeks and I can look at my glucose by weeks, and all those white dots, see, those are my glucose measurements. And I can see like, wow, like on this day, that glucose up there was over 200. So it must have been like a cheat weekend or something like that. But I can also check and see when my glucose was really low, for example, and that's what I want, right? I want low glucose. I can also see down here, look at the numbers. Week 24, it's the 24th week of the year, June, or it might be July. Yeah, July. And I can see that, okay, on the 24th of July, I had a really great glucose, and that's wonderful. That's actually a holiday where I live, so I must have done very well that day. But I want you to notice that you can look at your glucose and where it tracks over the course of a week or a couple months, whatever the case might be. You can do the same with your ketones, and for me, GKI is the thing, right? GKI is where you want to be looking at. I can be looking at my GKI by weeks and notice that it says quarterly average 7.1. Now, that's not great for someone like me, but number one, it tells you where you're at, but where you're at is only based on how often you tested. So if you only tested yourself on days where you cheated, your numbers are going to be terrible. If you only test yourself on days when you're doing great, your numbers are going to be slightly skewed. The idea is to get into like a habit of testing, like Monday, Wednesday, Saturday maybe. So you get some of the week and you get a little bit of the weekend. And if you just build a routine of Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, those are the 3 days that you track, but you build a lifestyle, a habit of eating right, of working right, then you'll get some really great numbers here that will help you build a diet plan and a lifestyle that's anti-cancer, that's anti-disease, and that can just provide you with so much health benefit to your life. So that's how the Keto Mojo works. Everyone's gonna use it a little bit differently. That's how I use it. I hope this was helpful for you. And if you want to learn more about foods that will keep you in ketosis and how to track your ketosis, watch the playlist that I made on the Carb Manager app. It's a fantastic app. Will help you stay in ketosis and will help you find the right foods to eat while you're in ketosis. So watch that playlist now. I'm Owen, and I'll see you there.